Here's Henny rolling right to throw. Fires to Braylon Edwards at the 3. Dives down to the goal line. Touchdown, Michigan! Braylon Edwards scores. Chad Henne has his first collegiate touchdown pass, and Michigan has a 23-0 lead.
We'll also meet a bull in the backfield who likes to make the running backs run farther. And we'll look ahead to the Fighting Irish as we scout Notre Dame. All that and more coming up next. Michigan Replay with Lloyd Carr is brought to you in part by The Joy of Pepsi and by Big Boy Restaurants. Big Boy makes you say, oh boy. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Michigan Replay. And, I'm going to have you call Donald Rumsfeld and figure out the leaks coming out of the Pentagon, because nothing gets out of Fort Schembechler. You start the true freshman, and nobody knows until game time. What a deal that was.
Well, Jim, you know the one thing about openers, there's always some surprise.
Well, you surprised everybody.
We were all surprised,
with
though,
Chad
truthfully.
Henne, the true freshman.
Yeah.
You talked about him a week ago, but I don't think anybody expected him to start.
Well, you know, Jim, we had an unusual situation in practice where on Wednesday morning, Matt came in and said, Coach,
Matt Gutierrez.
I've got some stiffness in my shoulder. We held him out of practice Wednesday, and then Thursday they decided to hold him again. And after that practice, we decided to start Chad. And I think, the great thing about Michigan football, this team rallied around this kid. And so it was a lot of good things out there, but we got a long way to go, as you would expect.
I know, everybody's got to improve. Let's go to the highlights. But one of the things you said was how the team, rallied around him when you told him that he was going to start. Yet, how many of you started as a true freshman and they had all to raise their hands and they all knew what was on this kid's shoulders?
They could all remember.
Here's his completion here to Braylon Edwards. This is your fourth possession in the first quarter.
We got off to a very slow start, to put it mildly, and but Adam Finley had a great punt here. We hustled down and got him inside the 20. And great field position for our defense. And our defense really was the name of this game.
It really was. This is actually their only first half drive.
Well, our defense came up with a lot of big plays. I think it was a great effort collectively. We had good pressure on the quarterback all day long. A lot of guys around the football, and we made some big plays. And certainly if we can continue to do that, we got a chance to be a good team.
There's a big 3rd and 3 they couldn't convert, and you
Joe
forced them
Sorrentos, Jim, a senior who has made a great contribution in the last couple of years on special teams, but he really has had a good fall.
And then I thought Chad Henne did a nice job. He's bringing you out of your own end zone. This is tough for a young quarterback.
Now, this is probably the time you're probably the most nervous as a coach, when you're backed up deep. And yet we came up with some big plays here to put a good drive. Jason Avant made a great catch there. Steve Breston didn't touch the ball that many times in this game, but every time he did, he made a play. And again, we're establishing field position. We're giving our defense some rest because it was very warm down on that turf today.
This is a great run by Braylon Edwards.
That's one of the best plays Braylon made all day.
He
was stopped short of the first down. Great individual effort to get the first down.
The only mistake that Chad made in this game.
Well, I'd say he made more than one, Jim. But
well, I'm being a lot nicer than you are.
But the truth is, he ends up on the tackle there. He and Kevin Dudley, but he forced the ball, and those are the things you expect from a freshman. He'll learn from that.
And then you get, they come back and turn it right back over to you.
Well, Ryan Mundy catches a deflected pass, pretty good pressure there, and makes a very good run, gives us great field position, and with the score, with no score in the game, that's the kind of break, and that's the kind of play that our offense needed.
And the key to turnovers is, on Saturday, you converted them.
Yeah, well, we took advantage of every turnover we got. Here again, Breston, great blocking by our wide receivers there. And Garrett Rivas knocks home, gets us on the board.
You got a 3-0 lead. It's in the second quarter. This is a tough football game at this point, but the turnovers are what do Terry Hepner in, aren't they?
Well, there's no question that was the difference in the game. Great pressure here, and Marcus Curry plays the ball he's always, in terms of coverage, he never gets beat, and you know, that's something that's very, very difficult in terms of that cornerback position.
And you get Underwood right up in there, close to the goal line, and
good blocking on the off tackle, and you know, we started that drive, Jim, on the 10-yard line. Got second down and 2, and then twice couldn't get it in, and finally on 4th down, David goes up and over.
4th down, he goes up and over, and you're up 10-0. Now, given what was going on with the true freshman quarterback and everything else, were you completely happy when you left at halftime?
Well, I was very happy from the standpoint that we didn't do anything offensively the entire first quarter. The second quarter, we played better, and defensively, we played very, very well the entire first half. And our special teams, our kickoff coverage in this game is probably as good as it's been.
We'll get to the punt coverage a little later.
Do we have to?
Yes, we do. Hey, when we come back, we'll take a look at the second half. But first, we hear from Big Gabe Watson, who says it's great to contribute to a victory.
The first start was nice. You know, you have more emotion because you feel like, I mean, everybody on the team working hard for, you know, for every single spot, every position, and everything like that. But when you know you have a bigger role in the team, you know, with the team and stuff, like, emotions are just flowing. After that national anthem is done, tears come to your eyes, and you know it's time to go.
Michigan Replay takes you inside the locker room.
The way we look at it, if we do our job, and it shouldn't matter who's back there, because they should have all the time in the world to make their decisions, or even running the ball. I mean, make holes for the running backs, so it doesn't really matter.
The Wolverines had a 10-0 lead to start the third quarter, and Miami got the football. And the game was still tight, and then turnovers again reared their head against them.
There's no question, Jim, here in a hurry, this game turned around. Right here, the ball slips out of Brad's hands, and Pierre Woods alertly falls on the football, and we got great field position like we have in the first 2 scores.
And again, the thing that's key here, though, is you take advantage.
Well, right here we're going to run outside, good blocking, and David lowers his shoulder and gets in. So now we're up 17-0, and that's exactly what we talked about at halftime, taking advantage of the opportunities.
And your defense against the run. Watch Gabe Watson up front here.
Okay, that is one great football player, Jim. On that play, Gabe Watson takes the offensive center, knocks him into the backfield, and the center's body makes the tackle.
Then you get a great throw from Henny to Tim Massaquoi, your tight end, and a big 3rd down play. And then Henny again, just at this point, I thought he looked as comfortable as he did all game.
Well, here's the same play. Braylon knocks the strong safety down, and we get an 8-yard gain. But Tim Massaquoi and Tyler Ecker, those are 2 key guys for us, Jim. We need them to catch the football and make plays. And both of them have been very productive this far.
And you can put Chad Henne on the run,
well, I think one of his strengths is excellent mobility, and that really impacts our running game. It makes the running game, because it makes the backside of the defense stay home, and now there's more creases for the running game.
It's 24-0 after your score. Then they come back and put together a drive in the second half that helps them get back in the game.
A very good drive, and possess the football, hit some plays, and you know, we didn't give up any big plays in this drive, but Miami did a very good job, and I felt at this time we're starting to tire a little bit. And then on a trick play, the reverse, and I'm not sure whether that was a pass off the reverse, but everybody on the backside stayed home. We got them stopped and held them to a field goal.
It's 24-3 at this point, but this is where things start to get a little bit scary, because this return guy, Ryan Robinson.
This guy is a great football player.
He is scary.
And Jim, you know, we've got to do a better job here. It looked to me in the film like there may have been a couple of clips there, but that's going to happen too. They're going to miss some calls, and so we got him stopped here for a 2-yard loss. Would have made it 3rd down and 3, and he slips out of there and gets a touchdown. Now the momentum in this game has changed in a hurry.
And it's 24-10, and you got a kick to Robinson again, and he does it to you again.
Well, that's now this is probably the most alarming play of the day, because you come right back, and it's not like we're not trying, but this kid makes a couple of cuts here, gets outside. Now, great field position and great momentum.
All right, and now comes the play of the game.
Well, there isn't any question. We got excellent pressure up the middle. That really is what I think caused the ball to be thrown before the quarterback was ready. And Ernest Shazor, King High, Martin Luther King High School in Detroit. They'll be celebrating that play.
Dancing in the streets at Martin Luther King.
Well, Ernest has had a great junior season, and he's starting off right where he left off.
And Marcus Curry, again, you said earlier, he never gets out of position, makes another pick here.
You know, Jim, the thing about Marcus, he has great hands. He's made a lot of interceptions. That was he made that look easy, but that was a very, very good catch on his part.
And then a great catch here by Braylon Edwards.
Well, Braylon went back door. He went. The defender was inside, and for some reason, Chad was able to get the ball behind the defender. And I don't know how we got it in there, but it was a big play, and Braylon used his height and his jumping ability to make a great play.
That point, 36-10. Then you get the fumble on the kickoff.
2 young guys, Brandon Engelman, a young sophomore, made a great hit, and Prescott Burgess, another sophomore, fell on the football. We got great field position.
And then Clayton Richard comes in with a nice play.
Jim, you know, you talk about our quarterback race. We've had great competition there. Clayton Richard has been part of that, and he played extremely well when he got in there late in the game. I had hoped to get him in earlier, and but the game went in such a way that I didn't feel like I could do it. But he's going to be a good quarterback.
Right, 43-10 was the final. Now the question everybody wants to know, and I'm just like everybody else, with the quarterback situation the way it is, what happens next week at Notre Dame? Is there a determination made yet, or will that be made during the week in practice?
Well, Jim, everybody wants a decision. You know, everybody wants to know, and the truth is, we don't have enough information. When we get the information we need, then we'll have to look at this situation. We got to make a decision based on what's best for our team and what will give us the best chance to win next week.
So basically, you're going to tell me absolutely nothing.
Well said, Jim.
Don't go away, everybody. When we come back, we'll meet Kevin Dudley. But first, we hear about that young freshman, Chad Henne. Talks about it's all about playing together.
Everybody felt comfortable. Everybody was doing their assignments, and we just started meshing just like we did in practice all week. So we came out in the second quarter and just started meshing.
Over the years, Michigan has had their share of outstanding fullbacks. Names like Russell Davis, Gerard Bunch, and more recently, B.J. Askew come to mind. There have been others, of course, and they've all had one thing in common. They got the ball now and then. Well, meet Kevin Dudley, the latest of the fullbacks. The difference is he hasn't gotten the ball. He is a fierce and physical blocker who has sprung running backs for big yards. But don't you dare tell Kevin he's just a glorified offensive lineman.
Being a tailback in high school and then coming here and playing fullback, and then just, you think of a lineman, you think of the big, grunny guys down there. And I just, you know, want to be considered one of the skilled positions, I guess.
Whether you consider a blocker skilled or not, Kevin Dudley is a major force in the Wolverines' offense, being successful. Despite not getting 1 carry last year and just 3 receptions, he is as happy as he can be, making things easier for others.
I think the biggest adjustment was just accepting my role. I mean, not being the star. Coming out of high school, I mean, I was a star on my team, and just accepting my role was being the guy in the background, you know, that you don't get read about all the time in the news.
Here's Perry angling right off a block by Pearson. Into the clear to the goal line. Touchdown, Michigan. Chris Perry, what a hole.
Dudley, the fullback, has made just about every block they've asked him
And I'm telling you what, he's doing his job as well as, you can ask.
Playing fullback was fine with me because, I mean, I knew coming in I wouldn't be a tailback. So, I mean, playing fullback was fine. And, I mean, I accepted my role and I love it.
Kevin Dudley loves contact, just like a fullback should. He contributes on special teams. He makes others around him better. Basically, he's your perfect team guy. He's a rare breed, a back that doesn't complain that he doesn't get the ball enough.
No, I really don't. I mean, I joke around with them saying stuff like that, but I know that that if they need me to get the ball, I'll be there and I'll contribute.
Dudley made me promise him that he would carry the ball at least once this year, score a touchdown. And I refuse to make that promise.
I believe I got good hands there, everything, catch a ball, but what I do with after the ball isn't going to be quite as exciting as Braylon and Preston as those guys. It's going to be more like me just running and trying to run through somebody more than putting any moves on or anything.
So what happened to all those tailback moves you had in high school?
I gained 40 pounds and they kind of disappeared.
Now, we go through this whole piece, and it's all about Kevin Dudley not carrying the ball. And look what you do. You screwed us up again. You gave him the ball today.
You know something? Old blood and guts. Now, this is a good run, too. Hit the hole up in there, and Kevin is going to carry the ball. You know, Jim, what's amazing about this kid is he was an outstanding football player in high school and a tailback.
Yeah.
But we needed a fullback. He put on weight, and there's not a tougher guy anyway.
I was going to say, and for you as a coach, it's the dirty work, okay? You love a guy like this who all he does all day long is crack helmets with linebackers.
And Jim, it's not only the coaches that love him, his teammates love him, and now the fans love him because
we're telling his story.
Well, you know what? When a guy gets recognition for that type of thing, it helps your team because everybody knows. They say, look at Kevin Dudley. He's not carrying the football, but everybody knows he's a great player.
Yes, he is. When we come back, we'll take a look at the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame in our scouting report. But first, we hear from Marcus Curry. Says turnovers are like kerosene to the defense.
We came ready to play today. You know, all camp, we've been getting a lot of turnovers all camp. I mean, it is one of the most turnovers we got. The first camps I've been at since I've been here. You know, practice make perfect. You know, so we got to get a lot of turnovers. We got to get them in the game.
Michigan Replay takes you inside the locker room.
Going down to South Bend is one of my favorite places to play. You know, I love their Coliseum and everything. I love the tradition. Notre Dame versus Michigan. I just want to go out there and compete.
Ernest Chasar's talking about going to South Bend and playing the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. And you know what? When you come to Michigan, you play in big games, and this is as big as they get for a non-conference game, isn't it?
Well, it's a game everybody in the country is looking forward to seeing. And, you know, when you get an opportunity to be a part of it, it's a special day.
And, of course, in South Bend, in that historic stadium with all the buildings out
the great helmets and the crowd, the colors, it's fun to go in there.
Tyrone Willingham has got Brady Quinn. I think they found the answer at quarterback.
Brady Quinn is an outstanding quarterback, going to be a great quarterback. Maurice Stovall here, a young player, is a big play receiver. And this team is obviously very motivated for this game.
And a guy hurt you a couple years ago, Ryan Grant.
Ryan Grant was a great high school tailback from the East Coast. We recruited him. Big guy, and a guy that's very tough, very durable.
And here's Raymond McKnight, the big wide receiver at 6'1", 210.
Well, there's the other part of the Stovall connection. So they've got good people to throw the football to.
And they've got very good defense. Justin Tuck's their best pass rusher. Brandon Hoyt, a solid linebacker, and Quentin Burrell, wonderful defensive safety.
Well, Tuck, I think, is an All-American candidate, and Hoyt, we felt a year ago, was one of the best linebackers we played against. Quentin Burrell is a guy that has a lot of experience. This is an athletic football team. They're running a West Coast offense, and their special teams have been good.
And that's one of the things about the West Coast offense. Tyrone Willingham is starting to get personnel that fits that look, right?
Well, there's no question, Jim. You know, when you go from an option-oriented offense, which is what Ty inherited there at Notre Dame and go to the West Coast. It takes a while, but he's an outstanding football coach, and he's doing it the right way. He's a good man. He's everything good about college football.
You know, it always seems, and correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't something crazy always happen down at South Bend when Michigan goes there?
Well, we've had, you know, regardless of the games, we've had some games that go down to the last second and field goals, and you know, you can remember a lot of them. And,
yeah.
But it's always exciting.
Coming out of your opener, what's the biggest thing you want to accomplish this week in preparation? Is it special teams coverage unit on punts?
Well, I think the number one thing, and of course we've got to look at that coverage, and if we don't do a better job, we put our defense in such bad position. Even if they play good, you can't give them that kind of field position and hope to win. We got to get a running game going, in my judgment, and we got to catch the football better, and we got to cover punts better.
So 43 to 10.
We got a reason to practice.
I was going to say, even though you win big, there were enough things that happened in that opener on Saturday where you've got some coaching points you can still make.
No question.
He's so, you know, sometimes he gets so wordy. It's amazing. Hey, listen, thanks for joining us this week. Make sure you're with us next week because we've got Michigan versus Notre Dame. It should be a dandy. It's all coming your way right here. Same time, same place on Michigan Replay.
Michigan Replay has been brought to you in part by Abso-Pure Water, delivering quality bottled water since 1908. By Chevrolet, see your Detroit area Chevy dealer. And by State Farm, providing insurance and financial services.